What's up, K-Stars? It's your girl Kristyn, and don't pay attention to the fact that I have on no makeup, but today we're making macaroni and cheese. So this is my first time making macaroni and cheese ever in my life. Yes, this is true. But I've done my research. I've looked up a few recipes and I've come up with how I'm gonna do it based on the recipes I researched. So I'm gonna share it with you guys. We're gonna see if I can be successful or if we're gonna have a fail today. But I do have a little bit of help. I have my mom in the background, as you guys see, crossing back behind me. So she's gonna be helping me out to make it happen, and she's over there saying no, no, no. But no, she's gonna help make sure I don't fail. So I wanted to share it with you guys in the event you've never made macaroni and cheese, because everybody has got to start somewhere. Okay guys, so let's get to it. So we're starting off with our macaroni noodles. If you're looking for the quantities of everything, be sure to check the description box. I'll have all that stuff there. But I did boil my noodles first. I added my sticks of butter as well as my sour cream. I'm gonna stir that all together and make sure it's like super creamy and the butter is totally melted. So that's the first order of the agenda. And then we're going to add some paprika to basically add some color to the macaroni noodles. Once you do that, you're then going to stir it all the way up together again, just like you did before. Then we're gonna add some seasonings, which we'll get into some onion powder, some kosher salt, and I actually ended up adding black pepper to my custard, which we're gonna do in just a second. Now we're gonna get into the cheeses. I chose to use mozzarella. I also used some of the sharp cheddar, and then after I put my sharp cheddar on the mozzarella cheese, I then chose to add some Monterey Jack cheese. I like Monterey Jack because it's super cheesy and I felt like it would add a nice touch to the macaroni and cheese. So that's why I chose to go extra heavy with my Monterey Jack, as you can see here. Now that you've done that, you're going to stir all of your cheeses together with your noodles. One tip would probably be to get your noodles a little bit cooler than mine were, because they kind of started to melt the cheese. And then another consideration, some people didn't add all the cheese at once. They kind of did a little bit at a time, but ain't nobody got time for that, so I added all mine together. I also put a little bit of Romano, as you just saw me do a moment ago, and now I'm going to work on what is called the custard. The recipe which I'm following is actually also going to be in the description box if you want to watch the original recipe, but I'm using 4 eggs in mine because I was figuring I would need a little bit more of this custard sauce, as she called it, and I'm putting my milk in here. I believe it was a little bit over 2 1/4 cups of milk, if I'm not mistaken, but again, check the description box. And then I also am going to use some heavy whipping cream to thicken up the sauce as well. And whipping cream is what I use in my Alfredo, if you remember me doing my fettuccine Alfredo on this channel too. So we're putting this all together, adding it to this little custard mix, and then I'm going to whisk it with my fork. And then when I'm all done, I'm going to now butter my pan that is going to be used for putting everything in the oven. I'm doing this so it doesn't stick, and I'm just going to start by layering the macaroni and cheese with the custard, and I did add that pepper to the custard, as you can see, as I mentioned earlier. And we're just going to start layering everything together: macaroni noodles, custard, and then we're going to do more cheese, and then we're going to do macaroni noodles, custard, more cheese, and etc, etc, etc. So this is a process that kind of took a little bit of time. It's probably the longest point or the longest thing I did when making this, but overall, in the grand scheme of things, this does not take you super long to put together. And then once you're done with adding all of this stuff together, you're going to put it in the oven. Now for the moment of truth. It's time to get this macaroni and cheese out of the oven. It looks beautiful. I wish we had smell-o-vision so you guys could smell this macaroni and cheese and basically everything else going on in the kitchen. But at this point on Thanksgiving, I was ready to eat, And I will say this macaroni and cheese is absolutely amazing when it comes out of the oven. So if you make this, make sure you serve it right when it comes out because it's so delicious. But I wanted to show you guys everything else we had for Thanksgiving. This is the rest of our spread. I forgot to show the turkey, but there's my mac and cheese. It did cool down a little bit, which, you know, was still really tasty, but I like it when the cheese on top is like super, super moist. Now this pan that I'm using, this Lodge pan, is actually pretty deep. You can go for something that's thinner, and like I said, I'll have the other videos that I reference in the description box because they both use similar pans to this, but they talk about some other reasons why, and it's some really good food for thought if you do decide to get one of these. They're pretty expensive, but sounds like it's worth the money. But you guys, this stuff looks so good. Oh my goodness. And there's my handsome fiance. I have to document this moment. How is the mac and cheese, baby?
I haven't tasted it.
No, I saw you had it on your fork. How's the mac and cheese, Arius?
It's really good.
It's fire?
Straight.
It's straight. Is it good? Really good or fire?
It's fire. Especially when you touch the mac and cheese and the yam.
Okay. Ellie, what you think? Is the mac and cheese good?
Best mac and cheese ever.
Yay! See, Ellie's selling it. That was right, Ellie. Brian, will you taste the mac? No, you did not put hot sauce on your mac and cheese. Oh my, I can't even ask him.
Awesomest mac and cheese.
He gets disqualified. How can you do that? That's like disrespect to the cook.
It's pretty awesome.
It's good? Okay. How's the mac and cheese?
It's good.
Good.
Delicious.
It's delicious?
It's good. It's not as good as the turkey, but it's good.
I was gonna say that turkey is fire though. That turkey though. I've been holding it in. That was the first thing I ate, and I'm like, dang.
The turkey's grilled.
Yummy. Well, there you have it, guys. My first macaroni and cheese, and it sounds like everybody likes it. I'm excited, but there's a lot, so they about to get a second helping added to their plate here in just a second.
Period.